Hello, 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 everyone. Let's make sure volume is off here. Let's see who is joining. Hello there, Miss Sue. Thanks so much for joining. I'm just gonna try to pull it up on the feed here. There it is. And we're gonna share it quick. Hello, Deborah Ann. Thank you for joining. Hi, Miss Mary. I'm so happy to see you. All right. One more time, I have to just share this real quick. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate you sharing very much. Oh, let's see. Where's my team? VIP. Hey, Miss Barb. Thank you for joining. I see you here. There we go. All right. Now I think I'm all set. Come on. Now if... Oh, there we go. All right, now I think we're all set. Okay. Let's see if I see everybody. Hello, Miss Sherry. Thank you for... Oh, you got your prize patrol. Yay. Glad it showed up. All right. Okay, we'll give everybody a couple seconds to join us. Today we are featuring the Dragonfly Garden Bundle. It is a punch bundle. It is in the annual catalog? No, it's in the spring catalog. It is the Dandy Garden Suite, actually. It has some fun designer paper, the Dandy Garden paper. And there is also another stamp and die set that coordinates with this. That's the dandelions. Really, really cute. I'm guessing we'll see this in the annual catalog coming out, which we'll get to see on Wednesday. So for all of my demonstrator friends that are on here, my team and other demonstrators who are joining us, oh, you're so welcome, Barb. I'm glad you received it. We're going to get to see the catalog post on Wednesday, the 24th. Hi, Katrina. That's it. Glad you could join us. So we are going to make some projects featuring the Dragonfly Bundle. And they're pretty cute cards, I think. So I think you'll enjoy them. But we do have Prize Patrol. I do want to announce last week's winners for the enamel hearts. Or resin hearts, I should say. Not enamel, the resin hearts. Deborah Ann and June Burke. I haven't seen June join us yet, but if anybody sees June, please let her know. Hello, Carol. Hey, Nancy. Thanks for joining, ladies. And for this week, for anybody who shares and comments, I do have some basic rhinestones to share. So 2 lucky winners will be receiving those. So again, thank you for sharing and commenting. That does help Facebook know that you like seeing me and they want to help show it to others, and maybe we can get some new followers and people hanging out with us for fun. All right, so let's look at what we're going to stamp today. We have 3 cards. They're very basic, but one has the technique. We are going to be doing, instead of using sponges, hey, Miss Laura, thank you for joining. Glad you're here. We're going to use Saran Wrap to make this fun background. Then we have a partially embossed background here for this cute little card. And we're using some vellum to just make our element pop. And then of course we have some ink splattering going on here with this cute card. And I just realized I did not grab my Saran Wrap out of the cupboard here, so let me grab it quick. I was cleaning up the other day after I did these cards, and I put it away, not thinking that I was going to need it today. So it's just your everyday cling wrap from your kitchen. Of course, I don't keep mine in my kitchen. Hey, Mary Kay. Hey, Lisa. Yeah, you got to try the Saran Wrap, Carol. It is fun. And like I said, it's just your basic cling wrap from your kitchen. I keep mine in my craft room rather than my kitchen. So that's going to be our first card that we do tonight. So I'm going to set these here aside. So we're going to set that there. And we're going to bring in our parts and our pieces. I have a basic white card base, 8.5 by 5.5. Hey, Carlene, Miss Robin, thank you for joining. So we scored that at the 4 1/4. And I'm just smoothing it out with my bone folder. So there's our card base. Then I have a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of Misty Moonlight. I have a 3 3/4 by 5 basic white. I have a 5" by 3/4" piece of Misty Moonlight. And then I just have a scrap of our Bundlebee, a scrap of Whisper White, or Basic White, excuse me. And I have a scrap of our designer paper that we are going to use to punch out our Dragonfly. This is one of those papers that coordinate with the punches and dies, and that's that. So really cute and fun. And then for this technique, you're going to need some Post-it notes. So we're going to do some masking. So I'm just going to go ahead and mask off about half. I'm going to try to keep it as straight as possible, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I do like to use my grid paper to help. And get that. Actually, probably should go right about there. There we go. Like I said, perfection. That's why we have this strip to help any flaws that we may have in getting nice and straight. But there we go. Okay. So now we have our paper pinned down here. I'm just going to grab some of our Saran Wrap. You want a generous piece, and you're just going to wad it up into a bit of a ball, just like so. Hey, Kately. So we have our mushed up ball of Saran Wrap, and we're going to bring out our ink, and I'm using the Misty Moonlight ink, and we're just going to pounce in our ink and then pounce on our paper. And just fill it in until you're happy with the look. You definitely want something down on your table to protect it, because you are going to make a little bit of a mess. I'm gonna get down in that corner just a little bit more. And now you have that nice textured look. Okay, so now we can go ahead and remove. Hey, we didn't do too bad doing the straight line there. So you remove your mask, and that looks pretty good. So now I just have that 3/4 inch by 5 inch piece of Misty Moonlight. I'm gonna go ahead and add my adhesive to it. And we're just gonna line that up. Just like so. Now, you'll notice that my sentiment here is popped up. I originally had stamped it directly on my card, and to be truthful, it was quite crooked. So I decided to cover it up by just restamping it and cutting it out and popping it up there. So that's basically what we're gonna do, because I can tell you, this particular one, I have a hard time getting straight every time. So we're just gonna go ahead and add some adhesive to our panel here. We're gonna layer our pieces up. Get that nice and straight. And then we're gonna layer this onto the front of our card. Hey, Lori. Hello, Miss June. You are a winner from Prize Patrol last week. You're going to have these fun little resin hearts coming your way in the mail. Okay, so now we have our scrap piece of this designer paper, and I'm going to bring in our punch. And I love Misty Moonlight too, Nance. It's one of my favorite colors. And it's going to be around for another year. Okay, get that centered. And punch. You get a little extra little BB. We'll set that aside. Let's put that there. Then we need some dimensionals. I like to use 2. And we're just going to add our little dragonfly there. Then I have our scrap of the bumblebee. Oh, thank you, ladies, for the hearts. I appreciate that very much. And then we're just going to get a couple of these little babies dragonflies. We just need 2 little ones from our scrap. Love these little baby. And then I have my mini dimensionals, and I'm just going to use my tweezers here to pick those up, because those are a little more difficult because they're so little. And we're just going to kind of arrange them in a fun little and put that one going that way. Then I have this little scrap of basic white, and I'm looking for a true friend, and we're going to use our Misty Moonlight ink again. And we're just going to go ahead and stamp that. Ooh, not too bad as far as crooked. I actually got that one pretty straight. Okay, that finishes that Misty Moonlight. All right, so then we're just going to use our snips. And trim it down. Dimensional. Shh. Shh. For some reason, Tucker is all jumpy tonight. I don't know why, so I apologize if you hear barking. Like he thinks he hears things. I don't know if it's the turkeys out there that are bugging him, or... We did have a baby deer, or not a baby deer, it was like last year's fawn, so they're almost a year old. They were kind of blatting out there the other night, and it drove him nuts. I thought there was a baby crying, but it was a deer blatting. Crazy. All right, so there's card number 1. Quick and easy. That technique is one of the easiest, fastest backgrounds you can do. Oh, thank you, ladies. All right, so there's card number 1. Quick, quick, quick and easy. All right, you lay down there and be a good boy. All right, card number 2. This one we have a partially embossed layer. So we have our basic white card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. Oh, good, Lisa. I'm so glad. I think he does. I think he hears the turkeys out there, or there may be the deer out there. It's getting to be dusk now, so they might be coming out. And he does. He hears everything. But I know the turkeys, before I started, they were already out there, so he's probably hearing them. All right. Now I have a piece of basic white. This measures 4 by 5 1/4. I have a 3 1/4 inch squared piece of rich razzleberry. And then I have a 3 inch squared piece of the designer paper. And then I have a circle that I punched using the 2 1/4 inch circle punch. This is some vellum that I punched out with the 2 1/4 inch. So that helped pop my little dragonfly, because he was not showing up really well when I stamped, or when I put him on there initially. So I decided to make him pop out just a little bit more with that vellum. And that's a little hint for you. When you want an item to jump off the page a little bit better, if it starts blending in too much with your background paper, throw a little piece of vellum under there, and that will do the trick. Okay. So we're going to do some embossing. We're using the Ornate Floral 3D embossing folder. And we're only going to do the majority, but not the whole. So you want to make sure, first of all, that you're straight in there and that you have enough hanging out to get your sentiment in, because that's the part you don't want to emboss. All right, so there, make sure it's straight. And I think we are good. So again, keeping a part of that out. Yeah, it does kind of look like a little bit of a cloud, doesn't it? All right, can't use the baby boss for this. We have to use the big boss. So I'm gonna try to get that in here so you can see what we're doing. Oh my goodness, the big boss is a little bit heavy. Okay. Whoop. All right, I think we did it. Okay. All right, so we have plate number 1. We have our cardstock with our embossing folder. We sell vellum and Stampin' Up, Sherry. It's in the specialty cardstocks. And then you just roll it through. My back and my neck this week, they're holding their own. I did a couple trips to the chiropractor, so right now we're doing okay. He did recommend that I probably start a maintenance program every month to try to keep things in order because obviously it doesn't like to behave very well. So we'll see what happens. So see, we have that beautiful impression, but we have this nice border to stamp our greeting on. So we're going to set that aside. I'm going to find my thank you. And we're going to use our Memento Black ink. And we're just going to stamp down there like so. Then I have, what did I do with it now? Here it is. I have some linen thread. And we're going to wrap it around twice and tie it into a bow. Well, okay, maybe if it goes that way. Okay, and as always, I like to bring my tweezers in as an assistant. Let's see. If Katie's still here, I'm sorry, no full bow today. We got to do the real deal. Okay, there we go. And we just need our snips. And we're going to trim our ends here. There we go. So there's that. And then we're going to bring in our dimensionals. And I like to put one in the middle. And there we go. Whoop. See what I was going to do? I was going to put my card on backwards. Who has, besides me, has ever done that before? I caught myself this time, but I have done it before and not caught myself. Oh, they don't? Oh, I got mine. I want to say I got mine at Hobby Lobby, but they do have the exact same ones. They're EK Success. I found them on Amazon, but they do hold really well, and I do love them. Okay, so now we have that. So now we can take our pieces here. We can go ahead and attach them. And then we have to stamp, oops, which I don't think I cut myself, a scrap of basic white to do our little dragonfly on. So we're gonna have to find a piece, which I think I see some here. All right, now go ahead. I'm gonna put just a little bit of adhesive on that piece of vellum and put that right in the center. Because once we put our dragonfly on there, you'll never see that adhesive there. So we can go ahead again with dimensionals. Good to know, Nancy, that I'm not alone in putting my cards together wrong. The embossing folder that I used, Barb, is the Ornate Floral. All right, so then, oops, put our dragonflies going up, flowers facing up. The other thing you want to pay attention to is your paper direction. Make sure your flowers are going in the right direction. Nobody wants flowers growing out of the sky. Okay, so there's the start of our card here. And we just need a little scrap of, there, this will work, white. We need our memento. And we need, which one did I use? This one here. Our dragonfly. I'm going to ink him up well. Huh, you guys are having issues. That's weird. I wonder if it's on my end then, if you're all having issues with me freezing. I mean, I'm not seeing it freeze on my end watching it, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. All right, gonna let that dry for 1 second. And then I have my rich razzleberry blends. I have the light and the dark. And you'll see how when it dries, they blend really well. But when I'm first coloring it, you're going to notice that you're going to think, wow, that didn't really blend very well. But I did find that once it dries, it looks really good. So I started with the dark. And on the wings, like on the underside here, and around the body, I just kind of took the dark and kind of just not really scribbled it, but just did like little back and forth motion, and it kind of bleeds up in. These darker colors tend to bleed, so you do want to leave a little bit of room for them to do that bleed. So you don't want to get right up to the edge, let it bleed into the edge. It's the only way to describe it, I guess. All right, now I have my light, and then taking that dark, I'm going to work my way to the other edge. Just fill that in. I don't know what would be causing that. I made sure I have nothing else running on the Wi-Fi. Okay. All right, so we have our little dragonfly. Now we got to bring back our punch. Oops. And I need to trim off a little bit here. Huh. I don't know why it's getting fuzzy. Unless it's Facebook. I suppose anything's possible. All right, so we're gonna center that up. And dimensionals. Now that's really weird. I wonder if it is a Facebook thing. And we're just gonna add our little there. And next question is, what did I do with my rhinestones? There's one. I must have put them back. I did. I'm kind of wondering if it might be a Facebook thing. Who knows? Like I said, technology really is not our friend. It's not mine anyway. All right, so we're going to put a rhinestone there. And then we have a little one there. And another one we'll put right there. And there is card number 2. I don't know, Sherry. I don't know. All right. So, on to number 3. What did I do with it? Okay, here's card number 3. Now this one, we're doing some splattering as our technique on here, using our blends. I'm going to show you how I use my blends to get the ink splattered look. And again, you're going to want to make sure your work surface is protected because it does make for messy. And as you can see, I do have splatter all over here. So we're going to move all these other cards out of the way so that they're not in the line of fire when we do this. So this time we have, that's fine, Sherry. Have a good night. We have a rich razzleberry card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we're just going to smooth that out with our bone folder, like so. Then we have another piece of the rich razzleberry. This measures 5 1/4 by 4. I have a 2" by 5¼ inch piece of the Dandy designer paper, Dandy Garden. I have a scrap of the basic white to stamp our sentiment and punch it out. And I have, as well as our, well, we're gonna need another scrap for our little dragonfly. Let's see, do we have another small one in here? This will work for the sentiment, and this will be for the dragonfly. Okay, and then we have a vellum doily, the little square piece. That's pretty. All right, so we're gonna start by embossing our panel here. And this time we're gonna use the brick and mortar. And this one we're gonna put in sideways. And if you notice these, they have the line. That's perfect for helping you line things up nice and straight. So you can get that in there nice and straight like so. So we're gonna bring back our big boss. Here's the big boss. We have the #1 plate, then our embossing folder with paper, and then the #4 plate. I do too, Lisa. Those vellum doilies are so stinking pretty. I don't understand, Nance. I really don't. Crazy. Like I said, it's technology, I swear. It's just, it's not our friend. Oops, and I just moved everything. Okay, sort of straight now. Ooh, I don't know what happened there. All right, so here's our brick and mortar embossed piece. I don't know if you can see the fun texture that we now have. So now, I'm gonna get my hand in there, pull it out. I have the basic black, the dark basic black marker. This is my Stampin' Blend, the basic black, and I'm using the brush tip end. I'm gonna open it up and using the cap and this brush tip. Now I wouldn't recommend doing this all the time because you will eventually ruin your tips, but once in a while it doesn't hurt, and you just give it a little flick and you will get a nice splatter. You see that? Okay. All right, so that's how you can get a really nice splattered look to your paper. All right, so now we're just going to take some adhesive, and we're using the Stampin' Seal Plus is my favorite. And we're going to attach that to our brick. Then we want actually some dimensionals. We're now down to our edges here. the rich razzleberry. Sue, is that the color you're referring to? I do too. It's a really pretty color, and it is a rich color. Very saturated and fun. Okay, so we're just gonna add that to our card base. And I love doing the tone on tone too. All right, now we're gonna add just a smidge of adhesive to the center of that doily. And you're never gonna see it once we add our dragonfly. Okay. So then we need our other dragonfly. Now this set comes with 2 dragonflies. There's the solid dragonfly with the open wing, and then there's the whole open that you color everything. So this one we're just gonna leave open. I'm gonna grab my rich razzleberry. Oh, have a good night, Carol. Okay, so we got that. And stamp that down like so. Bring back our punch. Get that lined up. Dimensionals. And so there goes our dragonfly. Then we have our sentiment, which is make good things grow all year long. And we're gonna use mossy meadow for that one. Like so. I'm using my old ink pad because my new ink pad, I re-inked it last night, and oh, what a mess I made. I had mossy meadow ink everywhere. It's finally fading off my fingers. My husband and I went out this afternoon to listen to some live music from a friend of ours, and oh my, I was worried I was going to be covered in green, but it did fade, so it wasn't too bad. Okay. We're going to use our little punch here and punch that out. More dimensionals. Actually, probably just one of these little. Then we need to bring in our little gems here. And that completes card number 3. Quick, easy, but cute. Let's see what we got. So we'll bring them all in. So there's number 3. There's number 2. And number 1. Oh, and because this set also has the cone flower, I did kind of take this card a little bit, did the same brick and mortar background with some ink splatter, but I went a little crazy with the ink splatter this time, and just did another one I wanted to show you. So that's it. Oh, thank you, ladies. I appreciate that. I'm so glad you liked them. I do love this set. I think I did feature this when it first came out, and I decided to play with it again, and I thought, well, I would do it again tonight as another featured set for this week. Because, again, it's just one of those sets that makes you think spring, summer. And I think we all could use a little spring, summer. Thank you, Donna. I'm so glad you like them. Okay, ladies, that's all I have for you tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful evening and an even better week ahead. Enjoy the nice weather that's starting to emerge from the deep, dark dungeons of winter. Today happened to be one of those most beautiful days. It was so warm and beautiful, and I truly enjoyed it. Like I said, we went and listened to some live music and had a really nice time, and now I am pooped. I'm going to get things ready for work tomorrow, and I think I'm going to head off to bed kind of early myself. Oh, thanks, Nance. Yep, this was just basically a play off this one. I just used white instead of a designer paper, moved it over, and stamped the cone flower on there in Bumblebee, of course. And Bumblebee and the Rich Razzleberry go really well together, which the paper, that's how I came up with that. It looks like I still have a mess with Mossy Meadow. Finding it attached to me. Okay, everyone, I hope you all have a wonderful night. See you back here. I think next weekend hubby is off too, so I think I'm going to take that weekend off to be with him, and then the following weekend is Easter, so it'll be the following weekend. We'll be back on Sunday, so the next 2 weeks will be off. Unless something changes for me to be back here next week. I think I think he felt a little bad tonight when I said I gotta get home now and we gotta go live, so we gotta go. So I don't want to do that to him 2 weekends in a row, being he only gets 2 weekends every 6 weeks. So next weekend I'll give to him, and then of course Easter weekend we'll take off. So all right, guys, 2 weeks from now, see you back here. Bye.